Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and this time we will just refer to one notion that it's commonly spread either by people from the current business political elite or the people who are really naive. And sometimes I have problem with differentiating between naivety and stupidity, but this is for different discussion. The statement I would like to analyze now goes as follows. People say, don't be afraid of control, like this all tracking applications and constant surveillance we are being surrounded with more and more with year by year. The level of surveillance of every person in developed countries grows. So these people who are responsible for that, also the people who are naive, are saying the same sentence that goes as follows. If you are not doing anything bad, you shouldn't be worried about increasing level of surveillance. It's utterly not true, because who decides if this what I'm doing at the moment is good or bad? I'm not the one who decides about it. And norms, socially accepted norms in every society, are also not taken into account during making this decision if this what I'm doing is right or wrong, but the decision is made by official, policeman or security official of other type, who has some orders to follow, some recommendations to fulfill, and this official or security worker of any type only wants to fulfill these orders just to earn money to feed himself and his family, so they don't care if this what they do is right or wrong, they follow the orders. We know some people were also excusing themselves that they don't feel guilty for the crimes they committed because they were only following the orders. So we see that this statement that if you do anything wrong you shouldn't be worried, it's utterly false, because you are not the one who decides if this what you do is right or wrong. The same, currently we see that our not favorite WHO organization, which should be called Organization of the Artificial Disease and keeping people at home, closed at home without any reason, is now debating with some corrupted governments of many countries about new so-called pandemic treaty. And this is actually again a huge example, very clear what's all about. Of course, it's all about jumping on the money of taxpayers, because the amount of money each country is about to pay for this organization will be decided by, of course, this organization. And as we know, some countries will sign this document, some countries will not sign, some countries will renegotiate secretly their own conditions only for them. Some countries will sign it, but if something, God forbids, happen, they will not do anything, they will only pretend that they implement the regulations from this WHO organization. But some countries have some governments that are completely corrupted, that they will implement everything even more eagerly than required. That's why we, people, should be aware of it and should fight for our freedoms and make our neighbors and friends aware of it, because now some officials from a non-democratically elected organization that was founded by some strange people in early 40s and later dominated by Soviet and Chinese communists. Now we see that current leader of this WHO organization is a Eritrean Ethiopian Bolshevik in his own country, accused of the serious war crimes. That's why he is not in rush with coming back to his homeland. This can be understood. And this guy is completely serving the interest, first of all, Chinese Communist Party. So we see that all regulations, if this treaty comes into life in some countries, will be used also to eliminate political opponents, because man, you have this disease, or you have this red spots on the skin, you know, it's very serious disease, and because you have this red spots on the skin, you should be stay closed at home for 1 month. But we officials will of course decide how long this 1 month will take. Maybe you will be forced to be locked at your house for 1 year or 2 years until you change your mind, and you will be again obedient to the government and to corporations, you know. Of course, and on the internet we can find also video in which previous director of WHO, Mrs. Chan from Hong Kong, was saying openly that for 70% of their own yearly expenses they need to go here and there and ask sponsors for money. And these sponsors are of course different companies, including Big Pharma, and she openly said that these sponsors are paying them because they have some preferences. So can we trust this organization? Answer is obvious, no. And that's why we should be aware what's coming, that many corrupted governments are participating in the preparation of this treaty, and we should oppose it, and we know how it will go. I don't think that they will announce another circus like the one we had 2020 to 2022 very quickly, because the memory among many people is still fresh, and we have many side effects of these syrups that were offered to people very, very eagerly, and many people were forced to take them. So still memory is fresh, but I think that the main idea of this treaty as of now, because in the future everything can happen, but as of now, is just to grab more money for this organization and for some people to share, and have another tool against your political opponent within the framework of sanitarism. So using imaginary or realistic disease with with exaggerated level of threat to just shut the mouth of your opponents and close them at home within the framework of existing law. Perfect. In quotation, perfect. That's why we should resist, which we should be aware what's happening, make our neighbors aware, and protest by any means. And one thing is also important, that we shouldn't buy this bullshit argument that if you are not doing anything bad, you shouldn't be worried. You should, because you are not the one who decides what's good, what's bad. The other people decide according to their own interest. That it's not in line with your own interest, normal human being. Okay, so I hope that I explained what I wanted to say to you. If you have any questions, I invite you to comment and ask them. We will discuss them further. Have a nice day. Bye.